without algotoxins or with reduced levels of algotoxins onto the slow sand filters for final treatment.
So does it take the toxins out of the water, out of the algae?
It takes the toxins out of the water, that's correct.
So you had mentioned a number of solutions you were looking at, and this one would be the one that you'd recommend. Is this short term then, and what is then your long term solution?
Perhaps Peter's help. Since we first started detecting the toxins, we've been taking several steps, making several changes to our treatment, adding chlorine, diverting water from the reservoir, bringing in groundwater to try to dilute the toxin. The approach that was just shared with you is a viable approach for this algae season and for next algae season. Algae season runs from May through September, October, depending upon the weather. So we see this as a viable approach. It's an approach that's been used elsewhere in the United States and Europe. Longer term, we'll be bringing recommendations, bringing options to council for more comprehensive treatment approaches to our water, such as ozone. And if there are follow-up questions on that, I'd have Peter Fernandez, our Public Works Director, speak to those.
Would there be any other fallout from the carbon, the powder carbon? I know that it would take the toxins out of the water, but would it have any other effects on people's pipes or just in general?
It shouldn't have any downstream effects on the water quality.
You did mention other problems that could persist if it was put in a newborn shore when you did so. What were those?
As I mentioned, there are risks that we've anticipated. One of them is that it removes not only the bad carbon that we want to get rid of, but the carbon food that the bacteria that live on the surface of your slow sand filters need to survive. If that's the case, and we've tested that at the bench scale, we will supplement or amend the water by dosing some carbon that's biologically available to the bacteria on the filters. And that would be something like vinegar or something that's commonly found on your store shelves.
Will you need to constantly replace the carbon throughout the summer? You said it's like a carbon dust. Will you need to clear it off to get rid of the bad stuff and replace it? I apologize for these basic questions. But
No, it's a good question. What we hope to do is settle the powdered activated carbon post-adsorption in the South Basin, you can see behind me, in a channel there, and then allow the water that's being applied to the slow sand filters to not have any powdered activated carbon, thereby not impacting the performance of those filters. So there will be some additional requirements to dredge out that carbon from the South Basin and remove it, haul it off-site.
It's mentioned that this has been used elsewhere in the specific locations.
Yeah, most water treatment plants here in Oregon rely on powdered activated carbon, largely for taste and odor. A lot of our surface waters here get a kind of a seasonal taste and odor event that happens 1 or 2 weeks out of the year. So most treatment plant operators are used to applying powdered activated carbon upstream of their treatment processes to deal with those taste and odor challenges. How it is applied to algal toxins is novel in this case, thus all of the research that was done over the weekend.
Can you explain that more? Novel in what way?
Algal toxins are an emerging contaminant of concern in the water industry. And so there's plenty of research demonstrating how powdered activated carbon and other types of carbon, granular activated carbon for example, is effective in absorbing those contaminants. But I don't believe that anyone in Oregon has dosed powdered activated carbon to deal with algal toxins to date.
is this sort of like the powder from broken charcoal briquettes?
That's right. Yeah, if you were to take a briquette and just smash it into dust, that's essentially what powdered activated carbon looks and feels like.
How much is this going to be costing the city?